Young Thug was denied bond in his RICO case, and some people say his crew is snitching. What up, world? It's your boy Challz Brown back again for another Talking Facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification. I'm going to read from this article before we get started. Young Thug will reportedly remain in police custody after a Fulton County judge denied the famous rapper bond in his RICO case. An expected trial date, the judge said in court, would be January 9th, 2023. The prosecution made their case on Thursday against granting Young Thug bond by reiterating the details of within the 80-page indictment that emphasized Thugger as being the head of YSL, aka Young Slime Life. Prosecutors believe Young Thug is the top dog, the most dangerous man here, because he doesn't have to get his hands dirty. He has others to do his business. They also noted that they have statements from YSL gang members that he is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will kill them and their family, and that he is the one they are all afraid of. He's the one that's King Slime. He's pulling the shots. So what that whole thing just told you is somebody is telling their story, and we call that snitching. When you in the gang and you tell on somebody else in the gang, it's snitching. If I'm a civilian, a regular man on the street, and I tell that somebody did some violent act to me, or they might do it, or I'm afraid of them doing it, that's just being a stand-up citizen, right? Let's be clear. We need to understand these terms. But if I'm in the gang, and I've been in the gang for 5, 6, 7, 10 years, and I done did carjackings, pistol whippings, and I done snatch old ladies' purses or do whatever. I intimidated witnesses. Whatever I did, I'm in the gang now. I'm on the RICO case. And they can prove that I'm a part of that gang. And if I start to tell, which is what this is saying, quote, statements from YSL gang members say that he's dangerous and he will kill them and their family, that means I'm snitching. I'm turning evidence on this man, and I am making him into the bad guy. I am making him into the boss. And it seems like they really only want him. There's no one he can tell on because they want him. There ain't nobody above him unless he's going to go to some other person in a whole nother gang. There ain't nobody he can tell on because they're not trying to get nobody but King Slime. And by the fact that they're holding him means they have quite a few statements that's saying, we are afraid of him. It's all him, blah, 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 blah. A lot of these guys are really tough online until they sitting in that box and they being told, you might not go home again. Give us something we can use, right? One of the most powerful statements I used to hear when I was a kid was, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. And I don't think people really understand that phrase. We all had moments in life where we could have chose one way or the other. And we either chose or we were lucky enough not to have the repercussions of that incident, right? But at a certain age and a certain point in your life, you have to decide, is this what I want to do? And if it is, then you got consequences, right? If you're a track runner and you don't stretch out before meet, stretch out your muscles, and you just hit the ground running, you'll probably pull a muscle. Something's going to happen bad to you. You have to know certain things before you get into them. You have to know what you're doing, right? If you're a gang member and you get in trouble and you get caught, you're going to go to jail, right? You have to know that. It is what it is. It's part of the process. To be a well-rounded gang member, I'm sure jail is part of it. You're going to have to be able to survive it to be a well-rounded gang member. It's just part of the process. You got to know that going in. When you take that oath and you do whatever handshake or whatever it costs you to be in it, you got to understand you might go to jail. Now, when you get in there and you start to tell stuff that you're afraid of this, afraid of that, you're either really not that great of a gang member, right? Or you scared. Which you probably shouldn't have been a gang member if you were scared in the first place. So end of the day, now these guys are in there, and all they got to do is tell these guys, well, just tell me, you're afraid of your life. Just say, I won't even say your name. I'll just write it down. Just tell me who's the boss in this thing. And we can talk about shaving some of these years off of you. They hit them with these football numbers. They start talking 20 years, 25 years. You start hearing that, you're like, 20 years? Oh, it was cuz. But it's a lot of tough talk that I would never do this and I would never say that until they got the press on them. right? Now, Young Thug, which is what it is, if he really is this kind of crazy lunatic that they making him out to be, right? They got him on phone taps saying that he's lied to the courts because he told the courts he was drug free. Then he's on phone taps at the prison saying he's going through detox and withdrawals because he haven't had whatever drugs he used to be taking when he was out in the street, which is probably lean and whatever else, right? I don't know, allegedly, right? But end of the day, that's what they have on him. So they're making him into this lying, drugged out monster, which the judge denied his bond. There's really no reason. I don't see why he wasn't given bond because they really haven't proven anything. I don't see why this rapper was not. I've seen rappers get bond for worse. Didn't NBA YoungBoy have a shootout on freaking video at what festival was that down in Florida? They did a festival. This was about 2 years ago, 3. Had a full-on shootout on the street, if I'm not mistaken. Got arrested for that, and he got bond. So I don't know why this is worse, because they obviously only using his lyrics against him and the words of whatever these officers are saying. I don't know why he can't get bond. We've never seen him shoot nobody. We've never seen him do nothing dangerous or crazy. A few lyrics here and there is all they really seem to have, and a couple people supposedly with statements. I don't see why he can't get bond. But apparently he was denied bond, and they're making him into this whole Scarface thing. But that's what happens in a RICO case. Somebody got to be the fall guy. If you got a criminal organization, somebody's at the top of it. He's at the top of the food chain according to them. So he's not going nowhere because he's gonna cause chaos, mischief, and havoc. I don't know why Gunna's still in there, but it is what it is. These prosecutors have a lot of information that they're not putting out there, and the judge sees it. So at the end of the day, Thug is in some real trouble. And like I always say, I don't wish jail on nobody. I hate jail. I hate the concept of jail itself. There's only a few people that really deserve jail, in my opinion. It's not many. There's only a few people. But a lot of these people in there for certain narcotics, certain deemed narcotics like weed and certain prescription things that people go to jail for, even though they're prescription. I don't think that's jail worthy. It's a lot of stuff that you don't need to be in jail for. But if you're a notorious killer, calling people to kill people, from your FaceTime because they can't trace it, and you're out thinking the law and you're thinking of ways to reinforce your drug freaking empire or whatever it is, then they're not gonna let you out. And I don't know what to tell you. I know a lot of people got free thug. And sure, I don't even listen to Young Thug like that. But I was like, man, they should let that man out. Not like on some free thug because he just let him out. He going to do his day in court. Let him get out, do his day in court. Right? I don't see the purpose of him still being in there when you haven't proven that much. But end of the day, he's still in there. He got denied. The judge doesn't think he's suitable to be on these streets, and that's where he is. So until we get more information, Thug is still in there. And a lot of these guys is going to come out, bro. 6ix9ine looking real. He's rubbing his hands together. He's doing a Birdman hand rub because it's going to really get really serious. You're going to have to start saying, wait a minute. It's going to change the conversation, bro. If Thug go to jail and it's 7, 8 dudes snitched on him, you're going to have to start changing the conversation about how real these guys are out here. All right, get in the comments. Let me know what you think, man. Are these dudes snitching, or is this all hyperbole? Is this like the DA is coming up with everything he can, throwing it at this guy because they don't really have nothing? CLBMG.com, go check that out. Go down to the playlist below, find Force Multipliers, a couple other things we got down there for our music, independent artists. Clash the Rap Podcast every single Wednesday night on all my social media platforms. It is live. Me, Dante, and Flair talk about nothing but hip-hop. Check that out. And essentialvarieties.org. Go buy something. I'm going to catch y'all on the flip side. Peace.
CLB.